Hey, welcome back to my channel. Make sure you subscribe because in this video, I'm going to teach you how to create a professional thumbnail with Canva, and it's going to be awesome. I'm going to do it step by step, so buckle up and let's go. All right, so here we go. First things first, you want to type in www.canva.com. Okay, they have a free account. Everything is free as long as you know how to use it. There are upgrades. You can do that. I'll make sure that as soon as they have an affiliate offer, I'm gonna get that down in the description. All right, so first thing you want to do, you want to go to create a design and go down to YouTube thumbnail. Okay, that's going to set the correct dimensions. You're going to be good to go on that, so don't even worry about it. Okay, here are some of the options right here of templates that you can use. They'll go ahead and transfer right over to the actual screen where you can see it. All right, you don't have to use those. You can actually upload an image. As you can see, I've uploaded a bunch of those there, and I've used those as templates for my thumbnails. All right, so here's photos, here's elements. Okay, elements are different things that you can put into your video. So if you want to put lines around for a border, which I will do later, which is very important, and I'll tell you why in a little bit, you can do that. If you want to put gradients in there, which I put in most of mine because it spices it up a little bit, that's cool too. All right, here are a few like background designs and more photos and things like that. These are all going to be things you can use to customize your thumbnails and your profile pictures and cover photos and everything like that. And it's going to be a lot more professional looking than trying to use a few of the different competitors of Canva. Okay, so that's why I wanted to show you this one. It's personally one of my favorites. And the fact that it's free is a pretty big deal. Okay, so we'll go ahead and drag this over here. First thing you want to do is you want to go to adjust, because you want to make this thumbnail pop. Okay, and to do that, you're gonna raise the saturation a little bit, lower the contrast, and then you're gonna lower the blur. So it's gonna make it a very sharp image. Okay, and then what you're gonna do is take and put these lines around the perimeter of this picture, and that's gonna go ahead and give you a border. Okay. This border is very important. That, you know, there's been a lot of studies done. I'm not going to cite them here, but if you look at a lot of YouTube channels and YouTube thumbnails that do thumbnails like this, you'll see that they do have a red border around it. All right, and it's just something, you know, you want to increase the click-through rate. You want to increase the chances of people actually clicking on your video. So it's important that you do everything that you can in order to, you know, maximize the chance that someone's going to click and get you some watch time and learn what you have to say, right? So you click through, here's all the different colors. You can switch the colors, you can vary it however you want. You're going to go ahead and make all 4 of them red, make sure they're even around the sides. Okay, and then from there, you're going to take some boxes. The reason we take these boxes is because it's going to make the words that we put on the screen later on, it's going to make them pop. Okay, and you want to have a box behind your letters to kind of contrast, because if I just put letters across the screen, then it might not look right. Okay, so you're going to go to text, and you always use a heading because they're bigger, bolder letters, right? And you're going to type in whatever it is you want. You can change the font size, you can change the font type. Okay, all of these things are pretty important. I'm not sure what type of channel you have, so I can't necessarily recommend you know, the best font, but I do know that YouTube uses the Roboto font. So if that's something that you want to keep in mind, then you absolutely can. If I could type, I'm pretty sure this would work out better. But yeah, so you're going to type out what you want to do. All right, actually, this isn't the best way to do it. I'm going to fix that in just a second and show you the best way to do the letters and everything like that. But the idea is that you want to put the boxes behind the letters to make the contrast, to make the letters pop. Okay, you see how I did that? I changed it, I made it black. And here in a second, I'll show you how to position that. That way you can put the letters in front of the box without having to do all this kind of crazy stuff. Okay, so you'll position it, and right there, you saw how I put backwards and forwards. That's going to pull the box above the letters or pull the letters above the box. So that way you could actually see what's going on and see what you're doing. Okay, so you type everything out here. The goal here is to make your thumbnail as informative and as enticing as possible. So you want people to look at your thumbnail and say, okay, I know what this video is about. I know why I need to watch this video, because this video is going to teach me how to create a professional thumbnail for YouTube using Canva. Okay, and I'm going to make sure to use this thumbnail that I'm creating right here as the thumbnail for this video. So that's just kind of like a, an incentive right there. You want to make sure that these are squared off, right? So you don't want the colors or the box behind it to be really big and a lot bigger than the letters you're using, okay? You want to kind of look like it fits perfectly. You want them to flow together, and it's gonna be a good deal once you get that together, okay? Again, I use the backwards. I can change the color of the boxes and everything like that, okay? Remember the position, because you're gonna be like, man, this is frustrating. Why can't I put the box in the letters, or why can't I put the letters in the box? Always just remember that position button up there at the top right, okay? As you can tell, I'm still spacing out the boxes, making sure everything's good to go. And then I'm gonna change the color again, and it's gonna flow right there. And then here in just a little bit, I'm gonna start actually putting some different elements into the thumbnail, and those are things as well that I've learned that really kind of make the picture pop and make more people interested in looking at the video. Is one, when you have arrows, like red arrows in your video. If you look at a lot of my thumbnails, you will see that I do use that quite often. There's some YouTube content creators that I follow that have said that works very well, so it's something that I try to incorporate as well. That, and you can use your little elements that, if you're going to be making a video about Facebook ads, you could use a Facebook logo. Since we're going to be making this about a YouTube thumbnail, obviously I'm going to go ahead and use a YouTube logo in there. And you see that the biggest thing here is Canva, because a lot of people might be interested in how to use Canva. So I want to make sure that when I'm creating this thumbnail, that I'm very specific about what I'm doing, right? How to create a professional thumbnail using what? Canva, all right? And as soon as this loads, I'll show you a few different fonts. I think this one's gonna be Roboto. And then that way, it kind of assimilates to exactly what YouTube is and wants, all right? Makes it more recognizable. My computer's a little bit slow, so bear with me on this one. Oh yeah, and also, if you've learned anything from this, man, please make sure you leave me a thumbs up or a comment or a subscribe, because that definitely makes this worth it for me, knowing that I helped you out and knowing that I made a difference in your life, and I made your thumbnails better and possibly, increased your channel views and everything like that. So please go ahead and do that for me. And if there was something that I could change or do better, please make sure you let me know at the bottom, because I love criticism and constructive criticism. So definitely make sure you do that for me. I'll definitely appreciate it. And I'll make sure that I keep trying to make better content and bring value to your life, one video at a time. All right. These are some of the different filters you can use. I'm not going to use any of them on this video, but there are tons of free filters you can use there. All right. Again, I'm messing with the saturation and the contrast, the blur. Those are the three big things you want to make sure you have in this video. You can change the color of all these, as I'm gonna change the background on this one to white and do red letters, just so you can see like what the idea is there. That's not what I'm gonna leave it as, because that doesn't really kind of flow with what I'm going for here, but just to give you an example of another idea that you can use there. And then I'll move that to backwards, and then go to element, and I'm gonna put in some arrows, okay? Because arrows are very important in YouTube videos. I've found even in my videos that the ones with thumbnails that had red arrows pointing to the main point of the topic did perform better than those that did not. So it's just something I like to do, just a little check mark that I like to make on my list of things to do when I'm going to upload a video, okay? And that's something that I think we could all do, is make sure that we are being consistent. Because the weirdest thing ever is looking at somebody's channel and seeing a bunch of different, areas and directions that these videos could go, and you don't really know what they're about, right? But if you look at my channel, you see I'm about education. I'm about making sure that people can get started with whatever it is they're doing, whether it be real estate or stock trading or starting a YouTube channel or Facebook ads or anything like that. Those are all things that I feel like I can help people do, and that's what I want to be here to do. All right, you see how I posted that arrow pointing directly at Canva? Like, that's gonna make it like, hey, that's Canva. Okay, yeah, I need to know how to create and edit on Canva, right? And then I put the YouTube emblem in there, like I said, because obviously this is directly relating to YouTube. All right, I'm going to take a gradient here in just a second, which is just kind of like these little like fancy looking blurbs, you know, that kind of look all hip and awesome or whatever. And I'm going to put that up in the right because I like to brand my my thumbnails, right? If you look back at some of the thumbnails since I discovered this, I made sure to put it on almost all of them, and it's going to say the same thing every time because that's kind of like what I'm going for. Like I said, you need to have that consistency, right? So this kind of helps with that. You can edit this anyway, big, small, colors. I'll mess around with some of the colors here in just a second to show you how that works. And then you can put your writing in there, right? And I always put, you know, step by step by Jason Brown or whatever it is, because that's kind of, you know, the theme here, right? So you want to make sure that your theme is very relevant and very obvious, because you don't want people to have to guess, because that's a lot of work for people that don't want to do a lot of work sometimes, right? And you want to make sure it's as easy for them to find you and know what's up. That way they don't have to put out that much effort. It's a little bit easier to get some traction on your videos that way. And as you see, I'm just editing some of the colors, just showing you kind of what you can do. You know, the combinations and the contrast you can do. And then obviously you want to make sure that your letters are going to show up well. Obviously they don't show up well here, so I'm just kind of going through some of them. You know, I'll show you different options and things like that. And then I'm eventually going to go back to what I know works, and use those colors and have that one be good to go. And personally, it just kind of makes it pop. You know, it's drawing your eyes, right? So the arrow draws it to Canva, and you see that it's for YouTube, and you see that it's, you know, right in the middle of that is kind of making you look like, okay, now I have to read how to create a professional thumbnail with Canva. And then once I read that, I'm like, okay, and to the top right of that, I see it, oh, step by step. Okay, awesome. This is a step-by-step video by a guy named Jason Brown on how to create a professional thumbnail with Canva. Like, that is the whole idea of a thumbnail on an educational forum. Okay, they will be a little bit different on different forums. Like if you're going to do, you know, pranks or funny videos or clickbaity type deals, then you might want to use something a little bit more to your advantage as far as, you know, getting them to click it, right? But I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to deceive you. I'm here to actually do what I'm trying to do. So this right here is where you can download it. This is the all the different types of downloads you can have. As you can see, it shows you the dimensions, which for YouTube thumbnail is 1280 by 720. You click download and it saves it right to your computer, okay? And that is the best part about this, is that it's free and it goes right to your computer. All right, and that's something that is really freaking awesome. So thank you so much. That's how you do it. I'm gonna get out of here, and thanks again for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I'll see you guys in the next video, all right?